Myanmar, the country we used to call Burma, which has for the last 4 years been ripped apart by civil war.
The tide of war appears to be turning against the Myanmar military regime.
A prominent insurgent group in Myanmar is on the brink of taking control of the city of
années, l'appareil militaire birman est...
Las Fuerzas Armadas justifican su actuar acusando a los
Myanmar,
líderes...
wo der Demokratisierungsprozess spätestens jetzt abrupt...
Although the junta seems to be losing control in some areas of the country, widespread persecution continues. Violent incidents are becoming deadlier and more frequent as the country descends into all-out civil war.
As much as 2/3 of Myanmar may now be under the control of the resistance. Access to the country is difficult.
Myanmar, a country often overlooked, and when it does make headlines, it's rarely for anything good. Nestled between China, Laos, Thailand, Bangladesh and India, this Southeast Asian nation, formerly known as Burma, gained independence from British rule in 1948. Since then, it has been plagued by armed conflicts involving various ethnic groups and the military. Today, Myanmar remains in the grips of a civil war. The military government controls only small portions of the country, while the rest of Myanmar is contested or under the influence of various rebel factions. Traveling to Myanmar in such conditions might seem like a reckless, even suicidal idea. Yet, we chose to see it with our own eyes. What we discovered was far from what we had imagined. A journey full of surprises and revelations.
Army and our government is fighting all the way, every day.
From Bangkok, we're taking a flight to Yangon, the largest city and former capital of Myanmar. At the time of recording, Yangon remains under military control, but the contested areas begin just a few dozen kilometers outside the city limits. We decided to travel to Myanmar not to focus on politics, but to showcase a side of the country that often goes unseen: the culture, the beauty, and the resilience of its people. This isn't the kind of content I usually create, and I thought long and hard about whether to share this journey at all. Myanmar is facing a deeply critical and complex situation, and I'm fully aware of the sensibilities involved. Despite travel warnings at the highest level, we made the decision to go, understanding the risk and taking full responsibility for the consequences. And we didn't regret it. This country, with its hidden gems and breathtaking beauty, touched my heart in a way few places have. Experiencing the warmth of its people and the richness of its culture amidst the challenges they face left me both inspired and deeply saddened. Myanmar is a place of incredible potential, and it's heartbreaking to see so much suffering in a land that deserves so much more recognition and appreciation. This video is my attempt to honor that beauty and share a glimpse of the Myanmar I had the privilege to experience. Arriving in Myanmar was a strange experience. The airport was spotless, but the shops were empty and we seemed to be the only foreigners there. It felt surreal, almost like something out of a movie. I've never been to North Korea, but this is how I imagine it might feel. For a moment, I wasn't sure if coming here had been the right decision. Still, we were excited to see what awaited us. With our countless documents in hand, we made it through immigration and officially stepped into the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. Our first task was to exchange money. Instead of using a bank, we ended up getting a better rate from a random airport security guard that exchanges money and sells SIM cards straight out of his pocket. From there, we took a Grab, a ride-hailing app like Uber in Southeast Asia, to get to our hotel.
Thailand. From Thailand?
Sorry? Travel, yeah.
When you visit, do you have plans?
We don't know. We don't know. We will see. We don't have a plan. Yeah. So we're first time here, so yes.
Army and our government is fighting all the way, every day.
Driving from the airport to our hotel was already an unforgettable experience. After checking in, we wandered the streets, overwhelmed by everything around us. Some people were quite excited to see foreigners visiting their country. Many wanted to practice their English and share stories, and to be honest, we did feel quite welcome and comfortable everywhere we went. Nevertheless, I was also somewhat hesitant to record in the streets with my camera, so I mostly stuck to my phone the first day. Once we returned to the hotel later that evening, we were surprised when our taxi driver showed up with some money, less than 5 USD. He had accidentally overcharged us. We asked if he could show us around the city the next day, and he gladly agreed. With the nightly curfew approaching, we settled in for the night, exhausted but content. There was so much to process, and as we drifted off to sleep, we felt excited for what the next day might bring. Our first stop today is the Botataung Pagoda, a temple complex said to house over 2,000-year-old relics, including a strand of Buddha's hair. This sacred site holds immense significance for Theravada Buddhists and has been a pilgrimage destination for centuries, drawing visitors from Myanmar and neighboring countries like Thailand and Laos. The temple's foundation was laid over 2,000 years ago by the Mon people. Unfortunately, during World War II, the British destroyed the original structure in bombing raids. Remarkably, the reconstruction began on the very day the British forces withdrew. While the current temple is largely a replica, it still stands as a revered site, preserving its spiritual essence and historical significance.
For the Buddha, one. For the Dhamma, one. For the Sangha, one. For the your parent, after that your teacher. For the Buddha, one.
Yeah, already?
Yes. All today, all.
Everything?
Yes, everything. For the Buddha. Next one. Next, no, you can pick, yes.
This?
Yes. Second is for the Dhamma. That is for the Sangha. Fourth is your parent. Fifth, your teacher. One for the Dhamma. One.
5 times, right?
Yes. You know this animal, this Garuda.
Garuda, yes.
Yeah, Garuda. My birthday is Friday.
Yes.
This is guinea pig.
Guinea pig?
Yes.
Oh,
So every corner is the
an animal.
animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. One street is elephant. This boat is hotter. Hotter. In the boat. Karawik.
The day continued and we went from one side to the next without seeing any other tourists. No Aussies, no Germans, no Brits, no Dutchmen. It was quite refreshing actually. Here we're visiting the Chaukhtatgyi. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Buddha temple, which houses one of the largest reclining Buddha statues. In general, it feels like religion plays a significant role in daily life in Myanmar. Cultures, traditions, and rituals seem still deeply rooted and more integrated here than in other Southeast Asian countries. Apart from Buddhists, there are also Muslims and Christians living in Myanmar, and they too have beautiful sites and places of worship.
Yes. Yeah, yes, yes.
And then I have to... It's okay.
That counts.
We bought some fruit for ourselves and our driver before heading for lunch. Wanting to go where the locals eat, we chose a restaurant that serves some of the most amazing Burmese food I've ever had. To be fair, I've never tried Burmese food before, but it was delicious nonetheless. In front of the restaurant, there was a man selling birds. He catches them and you can buy one to set it free, which is believed to bring good karma. We decided to do it, some extra good karma never hurts, and then gave our driver a break while we strolled around downtown on our own. Here we stumble upon the Bogyoke Aung San Market, a bustling jewelry hub that despite ongoing war still managed to attract international buyers, especially from Thailand. Myanmar is famous for producing some of the world's finest rubies and gems, and the gem trade here is as fascinating as it is complex. Between tales of corruption and counterfeit stones, it's clear that this isn't your average weekend market. Exploring the market feels like stepping into a glittering underworld where every deal has a story and every stone has a secret. In moments like these, the war feels so far away. Of course, the ongoing conflict is terrible and deserves more attention. But not everything in this country is overshadowed by it. There are ordinary people just like you and me, enjoying their days, grabbing coffee, shopping and living their lives. This became even more apparent when we visited the shopping mall on the other side of the road. It felt like it could have been anywhere in the world, bright, modern and bustling with shoppers. You'd never guess you were in a country with the second lowest democracy index in the world, even lower than North Korea, and a civil war raging just a few dozen kilometers away. Honestly, I didn't know what I had expected, but the sheer everydayness of the scenes at the mall felt so unusually ordinary that it was almost strange in a way.
To the Shwedagon Pagoda. After that, I were going up because inside the inside the temple cannot park for taxi.
Yeah.
So my car is outside.
Okay.
Outside and after follow you.
Okay.
And there you need to pay entrance fee for 10,000. Say.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up, and arguably the most beautiful one, is the Shwedagon Pagoda, the most sacred Buddhist pagoda in Myanmar and an iconic landmark of the country. After soaking in the unique twilight atmosphere at the Shwedagon Pagoda, we met up with our driver one last time. We said our goodbye and had dinner at a restaurant he recommended. The food was good, though we ended up waiting over an hour for it to arrive. Anyone who knows me knows that I can't just let a Saturday night pass by without doing something fun. But with a nightly curfew in place, I wondered if nightlife was even an option. The selection wasn't huge, but we managed to find a spot called Level 2 that claimed to play Berlin-style techno. While it didn't quite live up to the promise, the experience of partying in Myanmar was surreal. The club closed at 10:30 PM, which felt strange. Normally my night hasn't even started by then. Still, it was a unique and unexpectedly fun experience. I mean, partying in Myanmar is definitely not something I ever thought I'd be doing. Also, less than $50 for 5 beers, 10 shots, 2 drinks, and shisha and a pack of Marlboro Gold is more than fair. After the lights went on, we took a grab back to the hotel just in time to beat the curfew. A little tipsy, but still oddly clear-headed, I reflected on the day and the overwhelming impressions on this incredible place called Myanmar. And I know this video is different from my usual content, but I hope you enjoyed it. Also check out my video on taking a third-class train in Thailand if you want to see more. And thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.